Hello everyone. It's been a while since I joined you guys on YouTube, so I do apologize with the little ones home. You know, it did take a little bit of a toll. They were so full of energy, and you know what, life is short, so I went ahead and took the past couple weeks to get them ready for life in general, right? And get them ready for, whoops, I just noticed a spelling error, so let me change that. I just want to get them ready for school, everything like that. So let me tweet out the link, get you guys all set up with the chat. All right, just let me finish the. All right, so we are going to check out some cool things. We're definitely going to look at some crypto today. I am a little hungry, so I am not going to be spending all afternoon with you guys, but we will also, first of all, cover this right here. I have had a lot of people say, Jane, you messaged me on WhatsApp. Somebody said they got scammed for $100. I will never message you to send me money. That is not me. If you have any questions, email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. I am not into soliciting for other people's money to trade other people's money. No, thank you. Don't have time for it. Don't do it. So know that. And if you have fallen for that, I am very, very sorry. It was not me, right? So I see we've got a couple people watching live. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Let me just get this set up properly on the charts over here. All right, this one's not linking. There we go. All right, let's get these charts up and running. Who's joining me? I haven't been here for a while. Do not be shy on the chat. Go ahead, put in your questions. Where are you guys tuning in from? All right, so we are seeing, right? You guys can see this right here. We did have a real-time print on the SPY just a couple of days ago. We've started to get really weird, wonky things happening in the market. It happens. Hey, Mr. Smith, welcome. Don't be shy. 11 now wonder. Yeah, you live in New York? We're in New York. Upstate, the city. Big state, right? It's pretty big. All right, so we've got the SPY. This has been a crazy run. Let's look at it really quickly because I was looking at it the other day on a monthly chart, right? We look at a monthly chart. Long Island, nice. I have a friend that lives in Staten Island, and my sister-in-law is from Long Island. So welcome. All right. So when we look at it in general, we have these runs, right? And I was looking and it looked like a prospective crash day of September 17th. So when I did the measurements time frame wise, it looked like September 17th, we might see another bottom coming in or a big crash or correction. I don't know. Just looking at this sort of rate of growth is really crazy and wonky. So I'm going to get rid of some of the lines here. Let's see, we don't really need this one. I can always put them back on anyways. This one right here. So we see that we have just had this crazy rate of growth right here. This one, look at this line, excuse me, I don't know, wow, that was really interesting. I don't know how I did what I did. 62%, or 62 degrees, right? 45, hey, Teds, thanks. Yeah, the little ones are back at school. I have more free time. Oh, it's so exciting. And I was also down for the count. I was sick for about 10 days. Might have been Delta, could have been allergies. I'm not sure, but I am back to normal. So I was not feeling the bestest, as I like to say. So looking at this, also a new cool tool. I knew this from TrendSpider, but did you know that there's anchored volume profile on TrendSpider? So here, if we do this, this is where our point of control is, which is roughly 419, 420, right? That's our point of control from the bottom. So use that if we go below 420. I know that that is 30 points away from where we are. That is going to be, let's see, 430 divided by 45. Oh, where's my calculator? 30 divided by 45, 450. 6% away from where we are right now. So if we go down more than 6% and we go below that, there's a good chance that we will see a bigger move to the downside. Let's also look at this. Let's get rid of this volume profile right here. Let's go to the 24-hour chart. Okay, so we've been moving to the upside. We had this nice little upward channel over here. This is the line from the bottom back in March, right? That was at 62%. Okay, we've come off of that a little bit, but it's definitely looks like it's slowing a little bit. The rate of growth is not as high. The Fed has been talking potentially about tapering this month. We did have a bunch of FOMC chatter today. We had better than expected numbers for unemployment. Hey, Randy. And natural gas storage was higher than expected. It looks like the draw was less than expected for oil numbers. So the one positive really today was unemployment claims. I was teaching in the training pit today talking about IPOs and floats and stock offerings and short volume and short interest. So a lot of fun there. A lot of apes that have joined us over in the training pit. We do talk about the dark pools, but we educate people to be amazing traders at the same time. So check out thedarkpools.com and come and see what we have to offer over there. And this is abnormal that we're having all of these FOMC chatter going on. Maybe it's in relation to the fact that they are, thinking they might start to taper. But we are starting to see a bit of a slowdown over here. We had a bigger real-time print. We are below that. We have taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Not yesterday. We're still, this is a 24-hour chart though. But it looked like we had a doji day. If we do close below this open here of 450.41, if we close below 450.41, I'm going to put on that bear hat and be careful. I think we could come back down into the lower range of this channel down here around 443, right? We've been oscillating between here. It took a little peak up above and a little bit of a rise there. Today, we did see for the 6th time in a row, we tested 382 today. We have not been able to penetrate that. And this could be a box of distribution happening up here at the top. So when we look at this over here, that's not looking so pretty. Red, just because I was using that on an example earlier. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of volume, maybe of selling. If we're not able to go up above 382.20, I'm going to be a bear, right? If we see that the Q's pulls back, I think we could see it pull back down here to 367. That would be my first spot. Then down here, roughly, depending on what day we're looking at. Hey, Shar, yep. We'll check them out. Yeah, I can believe that, Mr. Smith. You know what? I'm going to pull up my Twitter. I did catch an interesting article. So you guys might want to check it out from my Twitter page. Hold on, I'm pulling it up on the other computer, other screen. I'm out of practice. And if you guys like the live stream, you like what I have to share, please hit that like button and subscribe, because that's how YouTube will help others in learning about my channel. And that's why I do it, to help you guys. All right, so check this out. A little read you might want to read right on my Twitter. CIA secretly owned crypto AG, and did they secretly create Bitcoin? I know everybody wants to believe that the people in control of the governments have their best interest at heart. However, sometimes that is not true. Seeing all of the manipulation in the stock market with the dark pools, makes me believe that there's manipulation elsewhere. If I hadn't been enlightened to all of this, I would not have said, you know what, I think there's other things that could be controlled by people. And seeing this, I wouldn't put it past it. I do not own Bitcoin. I do not own Ethereum. I stay clear of those two. And in fact, it's interesting that the former SEC head was a fan of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not XRP, potentially because XRP could disrupt all of this. So I am definitely an XRP bull, 110%. Love 6 different cryptos. There was one that rocked it today. Algo was one of my 6, really rocking it. So I will go over my crypto portfolio that I do hold. And I'm loving for the new bank transactions that are due to be coming out. When exactly, not sure, but setting up for these new crypto networks that could be used in the banking around the world. My opinion, Bitcoin is not going to be included there, but hey, take it with a grain of salt. That's my opinion, right? All right, so let's look at IWM. IWM as well. We have been hanging out in this box since February, right? We have just been going sideways. What is that telling me? Well, that means that for these 2,000 stocks in the Russell ETF, it is just going sideways. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Smith, you know what? My trade on Forex is going to be everything to par, baby. I'm thinking everything could be potentially going 1-to-1. Call me crazy, but we could see that if we happen to have the Fed, you know, like Janet Yellen came out and said, the Fed is due to potentially default. Excuse me, the Treasury is due to default on debt in October of this year. Hey, Old Salt Trading. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Glad to hear that you are back. I took some time off too, so don't worry, you really didn't miss anything. That what's going to happen if the Fed, everybody, the U.S. were to default on debt? Are they going to recreate a new note, maybe the U.S. Treasury note that will be coming out? And how are they going? There's 14 currencies that are pegged to the US dollar. So does that mean that they're all going to be 1-to-1 to the US dollar? What's going to happen? Put in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen if the Fed is going to default, right, on all of this debt, or the US corporation, right? Another great one here that I did post out yesterday, Sour Notes. Yeah, it was this one too. So check this out. This is really interesting in regards to the Banks Emergency Act, bankrupt, and that it owes its creditors gold in relation to the National Banking Emergency Act. So, I don't know. Check it out. Read it. This was signed back in 2020. So maybe there's going to be something amazing happening for everyone. We will see. But that's just my thought process. So I am a big researcher on the internet. You guys know this. Love it. Yeah, American Airlines was moving today. You guys, we will go through my list. Let's check out Dow Jones too really quickly. So Dow Jones is starting to show some weakness. It is below this longer term trend line right here. Came back. It did test it today. This would be that test. That would be that optimal short entries when we test this trend line, upper trend line from the bottom. These do tend to default and break down 65% of the time, whereas when we're in a downward motion, they tend to break out about 95% of the time. So looking at this, we could see that this does move down, potentially all the way down to 340.72. So I'm feeling a little bit potential move in the market. A bit more correction might be happening, especially if the Fed really does start talking about tapering. So today we do have American Airlines breaking out. Randy, you got it. This was on my list today. If you guys want to check out my list, you can try it out at cjntrade.com. Welcome for 10% off. I would have pulled it up right there, but it's not there. So American Airlines was on there. If it broke above 1920, did we break that today? You bet. Look at that. A nice dollar move off of that roughly 5% right there. Lulu as well had earnings, had a potential, why is it frozen? Oh, there's no lines. Very weird. Any event, Lulu was there today. Let me see where this pops up. Here we go. Let me pull this over here and we will look at my image. 2 seconds, guys. Bear with me while I will pull up my list. It's just taking a bit. Hey, David. Aw, thank you. Yeah, feeling much, much better. I was not feeling my best. I don't know whether I had Delta or whether I'd had allergies, whatever it was not fun. All right, so Lulu above 435 or below 425. So this is just going sideways right at the moment. Not really a big trade either direction, right? Oh, it's interesting. It's over here, but not over here. Interesting. Oh, well. So it had a little bit of a trade to the downside down to 423. FCX today as well. Copper and gold in FCX. Maybe gold and copper and commodities are ready to move to the upside, right? MTETs, your riot calls expire tomorrow. Would you wait until it gets back above the moving averages? You know what? Here's what you have to remember, right? Overnight tonight is going to be the biggest decay of those as far as premium. So we will look at it and see. You are fighting the trend for sure. When we look at Bitcoin, Marshall, it is moving. It's heading up, about to butt up against the moving averages. So I'll put Bitcoin and Mara up next to each other side by side. We'll look at that. So FCX, here we go. We are heading to the upside. You see how we hit up against that moving average and how it pulled back down? That's kind of what's going on with Bitcoin right now. We have a similar motion where it is moving up below the moving averages and then moving down. Sorry, Randy. Hope you are feeling good and no issues there. Gold as well, checking it out for today, was up pre-market, but we have descended down a bit. So there was a bit of a short trade down here, about 30 cents to the downside. Macy's as well was moving up this morning and on the list, but it did actually provided a little bit of a short trade and a little bit of a long trade, but nothing too big, right? I had a pretty wide area not to trade it today. And I don't know why these are not showing up on the other side. Very interesting. NEO today as well had a bigger trade. Look at this. We are in a wedge. We came down. We touched the bottom down here, bouncing up. Target would be roughly $40 if we can get all the way up there, if it does hit back up above these moving averages. But right now, the overall trend is heading to the downside ever since this day on the 3rd of September. AMC. Oh, I want to show you something that I caught on my training today with the Form 4s for Coinbase, and it was in the news too, so we'll check it out. So AMC was talking about this today too. I know that we have the ape army. AMC to the moon. Got somebody on LinkedIn messaging me, hey, it's going up, it's going to 100, it's going to be amazing, oh my goodness. What you have to remember is it does have 511 million in the float. That's pretty big. GameStop, when GameStop ran up, 60 million, 50, 60 million in the float, a tenth of the size. It's going to take a lot more volume and momentum to be able to squeeze this thing. It is breaking out of a wedge right now, but it really needs to break up and hold up above 40, really 50, in my opinion. It needs to go up above 50 or else, you know what, this is pretty much dead in the water and it's not really going anywhere. We did see that once Rule 30 went into effect, that the repo rates started to go up astronomically. Where do you think the hedge funds and the brokers were borrowing money from to satisfy that Rule 30 requirement of offering cash? Yep, probably borrowing from the Fed. So even though that rule went into effect, it didn't really change anything. All right, next up on my list was Billy. We did see Billy and Baba down big time this morning. This has bounced a little bit, bounced off of that 21 EMA and the 15 EMA. Some volume came in, a little bit of a short trade in the first 15 minutes or so of the market, and then it bounced up to the upside and a little bit of a trade to the upside, just $1.50, not that much. Baba as well. Baba has been a big mover, and Baba does have a bunch of gaps, which it did fill today. We did fill the gap up to the upside right here, And we have the gap to the downside down here, a little bit of an island down here, trading to the downside. So if we do break below 64.50, I would look for 62.15. Right now we have moved to the upside, but we are moving to the downside again. Speaking of apes, read much about Solana and the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT sales through the roof. Also, Solana keeps making... Oops, I was reading it and now you took it away. Okay. And then SE as well was the final one on my list today. Had a nice trade to the downside, roughly $7 to the downside. This is in the mid-range of a widening megaphone right now. So if we're able to hold this 21, I would look for this potentially to move back up to 360. We have 3 down days, might have an upward move to the upside. All right. So let's look at crypto really quickly. So I do have my list over here. Let's adjust it to the biggest gainer. Oh my goodness, Algo, way to go. Algo is rocking it to the upside. I did get in, averaged in roughly $1 and took some profit up here today on 20% of the position. If it comes back down over here, this is my entry back here at roughly that 4 EMA on the 24-hour chart. It has screamed higher, but it is looking a little overbought. So took some of that position off and still leaving the rest. But this is my preferred longer term portfolio over here. IOTA as well had a nice move up, hit that $2 mark, came back down. You can see we hit the 21. They do have bigger moves, and there's a lot of volatility in crypto. I am loving the crypto space. XDC as well. No worries, Mr. Smith. All right. So this one, XDC, moved up to 19, new highs, pulled back. We are finding a nice base roughly at 12.5 cents. Looking for this to continue, in my opinion. If you do the research, this is going to be used in the trading world later on once we do go to instantaneous settlements instead of the antiquated trade date plus 2 days for settlement that was set up when everything was on paper on the books. Cardano as well had a nice move up to $3, has gone through a bit of a correction. We are hitting this trend line and we bounced. So that was a nice entry when we had the correction, the micro crash that happened in relation to Bitcoin being accepted by El Salvador. Could have been those El Salvadorians selling their $30 a piece that they got, which then dropped the price. XLM as well came down to the volume weighted anchor price. So I love this tool as well from Brian Shannon, available on TradingView here. And you can put it to any particular day. So I picked the low down here. Look at how we bounced off of that, and that has been respected as support, right? So liking this for bigger moves and continuation to the upside. Yeah, I'll check it out. Let me just run through this list really quickly. XRP is somewhat in a holding pattern. A lot of still stuff going on with the SEC. Are they going to disclose everything with Ethereum and Bitcoin? Was this an attack basically just from the former SEC head? Is Gary Gensler going to release this? Is the judge going to release this based on the fact that the SEC will not produce the documentation that has been asked for by the judge? And Dogecoin as well. Got into this at 6.5%, trimmed it when we went up to 73. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take out my original investment and leave the rest to ride. So that's what I did, still holding on to the rest and liking that this is holding support of 24,939. I don't know where I got that number, but look at how that support is still holding. Love it. Also did a fib extension. My target for Algo today was 245. We did hit that. Again, I'd be looking at potentially 210 or 176 or 197 as my entry on that one for re-entry. All right, let's head back over to the stock world. Let's check out the ones that you guys have as well. Okay, Vast Bank out of Tulsa selling crypto. They just got chartered for it. Haven't heard of them, Dave. So don't know about it. Is the Vast Bank FDIC insured? What do they hold the crypto? Do you hold the crypto? Would be my question. I would say, can I transfer it? Bon appétit à toasties. Je voudrais un italien s'il vous plaît. Merci. Avec les sauces. So Are they going to hold the crypto? Are you going to hold the crypto? What's going on, right? Who's in charge of that crypto? Are they going to pay you interest on it? Ask these questions, right? Okay, let's check out what SHAR has. OPAD. Let's look at it. So OPAD IPO that came out, looks like it had a big run. Do we have the float over here? Nope. Let's go here. OPAD shares in the float. All right, 40 million. So this is lower float as well. It is a lower float stock. I know, bad scientists. I was a little sick. I don't know, maybe I had Delta, maybe I had allergies, my kids were home. I was doing a lot, and so something, you know, we only have 24 hours in a day. My kids were were at home getting ready for school, so that's what won. You know what, Dave? I would ask them, can you transfer it out to your own personal exchange? Like to your own crypto wallet? Because if you cannot, I would not be interested in using it personally. No, thank you. I want to be in control of my own crypto. I don't want anybody else to be in control of it. That's my thought. I don't like banks personally. All right. So OPAD, let's check this out. Looking at it, we do have an upward trend right here on the daily chart. Oops. I didn't want volume. That's just our 4 EMA, but let's look at the upward trend, right? If we look at this, we could see that it could come back down to roughly $10 and then bounce again. It's a bit extended. It almost hit there back here. 1068 maybe, but right now it looks overextended. We definitely had an overbought situation earlier today, and it does look like it has a bit more room to pull back, in my opinion. But it is lower float, so I would look at it and say, hey, if we go below 969, 970, I would want to get out, right? I would not want to hold on to it after that point. I would use that as my make it or break it exit point, but that's still far away. That's about $2.50 away from where it is now. All right, let's check out WKEP. Yeah, my pleasure. WKEP, I think that one might be an error because it's not pulling anything up. CBAT. So CBAT, this does have the potential. It's in a downward trend, right? Let's look at this. Let's see. Where's the last one? Really right here. That was an up day. So it's fighting this downward trend today. Again, it fought it, but it was not able to hold it. It does look like potentially 280 is a support level. Let's look how far back. Oops, I don't want to go backwards on this one. I want to go backwards on this one. So it does look like it might come back down to that 240 level if it breaks below 280. So what is your risk tolerance on this one? It does look a little oversold down here. Every time it's been in that oversold territory, it does tend to bounce a little bit, but this went all the way down to 30.5 and it's at 37. So this could, oops, I didn't mean to do that. This could move down further, even down to that 240 area, 250 area. Remember that when it is below $5, that is considered a penny stock by the brokers, and they are not going to touch it. There's not going to be longer term investing in this. It has been in a downward trend really for quite some time, right? Ever since February of this year, this has been in a downward trend, whereas September to February it was up. Does potentially have seasonality to move to the upside. What was our day of the breakout? The 23rd. So keep that in mind. It did go down till about the 14th, 15th. Look at how once it broke up above this green and blue line, that's when it really took off. So keep that in mind. It might have a bit more to the downside, maybe another week, and then it could continue up. All right, let's look at mRNA. My opinion on this one, let's see. We have what looks like it might be time to test up to that 480. If I was in this today, right, my risk would be all the way back down to 433. So that's roughly $20. So if I were just jumping into this, I would really want it to be closer down here, 430 even. Like I would want it to be closer. You see how it bounced off of these green lines as well, and how it uses that as support. So how mad would you be if it pulled back down to 426 tomorrow and you got in long today? Or if news came out about this, that they said, oh my goodness, right? Japan, they had the stainless steel in their shots and they've suspended the shots. So what's going to happen if further news comes out? It does look like there was a bit of a short squeeze, or there's some volume right here, big volume bar right here. It was strong resistance, roughly at 449.80. If we close below 449.80 on a day trade type, swing trade type scenario, I would not want to be long, because that looks to me like they finished a big position right here, and all of a sudden it might drop to the downside right there, because look at all those little tiny selling wicks that were right there. Does that look like it's going to be really strong? It definitely broke a resistance. Oop, there's somebody at the door. But for now, I wouldn't like it. All right, let's see. I'm going to go really fast because I don't know. We already did AAL. Let's look at go-to for David. Whoops, not go-T, go-to. I will check and see who is on who is at the door. I'm thinking maybe it was an Amazon delivery. No, that's 1228. All right, we'll check in a second. All right, this one, again, $5, less than $5 penny stock in a downward trend. Would need it to really break out up above $3 to like this, actually $3.28 to like this to the upward side. Otherwise, the volume is dropping and the price is dropping. All right, so let's look at mRNA. Moderna ends in RNA. Yeah, of course, right? So let's look at BTBT. All right, did I skip yours? Let's do Riot. And let's pull up Bitcoin over here. BTC, we'll just, I think I have it on Coinbase is maybe mine. No, okay. But let's make this a 24-hour one. All right, you see how this is moving to the upside? You have a 35. It looks like, it's not going to get there, in my opinion, by tomorrow. Rolling it out might be a plan, but it might get stuck right here at 32.50. So depending on the price that you spent, might get stuck here at 32.50 and then turn around. Right now it's getting stuck on that green one, right? 31.93. If that, what was the high for today? 31.97. So it came just shy, almost at 32, and then it's pulling back down. It's going to react similarly to Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin had big price action, dropping. There's not as many people buying. We're hitting resistance over here. Bitcoin would really need to break out up above 47.98 for Riot to move to the upside as well. Smile Direct Club, yeah, we'll check that out. BTBT, so Smile Direct is going to be the last one because I'm hungry. And I have some food coming my way. Very excited about that. All right. And if you guys have not done it already, please hit that like button. Oh. Sorry, guys. No sandwich. No Italian meats. Can you believe it? No Italian meats in their delivery. Do you guys have food and supplies for 2 weeks? So BTBT, also related to Bitcoin. So when you look at it here, it is rebounding a bit similar way to Bitcoin. This has less of a bounce, but this is a miner, right? SRPT is also a green mining Bitcoin company. So think about, I don't know if they have other mining coins there as well, but they might have some other ones thrown in there. Not sure about that. All right. Ryan, what are my favorite stocks, ETFs, and ETC for long-term investing, not necessarily for trading? Ryan, my thoughts are physical silver, physical gold, cryptos. Not so much in the stock market right now. Have some cash on hand. In case the banks were to go down, you have some physical cash in case everything were to crash. That's my thoughts on the market. Feels super extended. If you guys have not seen, let's see, it is Capital in the 21st century right here. Oh, it took me to their Twitter handle, which is fine. Check out this movie, right? Go to IMDb right here. I'll take it right here. And this is going to really enlighten you. We are in a massive bubble, right? We are in a massive bubble. And this explains how money has moved forward in the world, as well as read The Creature from Jekyll Island, right? That's another great book to read. And it will help to educate you all about the banking system, all about money, how it is used, and how it is used pretty much to enslave people, to work for other people. Put your money in the bank. The banks use your money to make money, right? 33 times over. So I don't like banks. Right now, feels like the stock market is overextended. Liking crypto, liking commodities and metals. If that answers your question, Ryan, I hope you're still here and still watching. All right, let's look at X for old salt trading over here. All right, X. So we have had a move to the downside a bit. It has, oh, you're very welcome. It has dropped down below 27. That was a pivotal point for it. And right now, let's look at it on a bigger picture. It does look like it's ready to go in a downward motion a bit. We hit 30, pulled back. If we could form a handle here, right? We have a nice cup type. We could form a handle, come down. We might even see it come all the way down to 19 and then shoot up. That's possible. Remember, this is a weekly chart. All right, let's look at DM. DM, I don't know, Dominion? No, desktop metal. Another metal, electronics, computer peripherals. Don't know it, but it does look like it's in a downward trend on the longer term time frame. Let's put this on the 24-hour chart. Oops, 24 hours. Let's try that. Third time's the chart. All right, so this is moving to the downside right here as well. Had earnings, good earnings, but a little bounce and hit that $9 and is moving down. It does look like a downward trend. All right, and lithium, LTHM. So lithium, Livent Corporation, I like calling it lithium. I don't know, maybe they have nothing to do with lithium. Chemicals, specialty. It does look like this is in a breakout. It does look like we formed a handle. Let's see if we were here before ever. Nope, we had a high back here at 1988, came and it extended up to 23.99, pulled back. Let's do this really quickly. Let's just measure this. So how do I want to do this? Right here. Let's do this measurement from here to here. 350. How much more was that? Sorry guys, I want to see. 60% more. Right there. So 60% more. So if we look, maybe it's going to go up here. Right? Maybe, let's see, what was that move? From here to here, 60% was $4.70. All right, or 23% from there. Let's add another 23%. Maybe it's going to head up to 30 if it can break out up above 27. I'd look for that. All right, and Smile Direct Club. So Smile Direct Club does have crazy short interest. Oh, I wanted to show you guys too. Let's go here. Form for Coinbase. I feel like there's going to be a big lawsuit or something coming out against them. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't like this one. Hold on. I want the other one. I want this one. I'm particular. All right. So I find this very suspicious. The chief legal officer sold $24 million worth the end of December. He knows exactly what's going on with the company, right? The director sold $188 million August 12th. Feels like there's something very fishy going on with Coinbase. And it happened to be in the news a little bit today. So watch Coinbase. I feel like there's going to be big news coming out. Obviously, they did have their lockup period that expired, and they started selling. They IPO'd back in April. And looking at this, when the chief legal officer is selling, they have that inside information. What does he know, right? What does he know that is about to happen to the company? And you have the director again selling. So we have the director and Mark Andreessen, and we have Ernest Ersam that sold twice. Actually, he sold 3 times. And we have Mark Andreessen that sold 726,000 shares. Maybe he's getting fired, I don't know. But he took his cool $188 million and said, thanks so much. And then we have our legal officer selling. It just caught my eye today. So just be prepared. And I was also talking about floats. You guys can check out high short interest right here. SDC, remember this information is 2 weeks old. They're about to report new information again coming up on the 15th, or 17th, excuse me. 32% out of 104 million in the float is short from a week and a half ago. So maybe there's going to be a short squeeze on it. But it has 100 million in it. It would need to break out up above 660. Right? You'd probably see a run from 6 to 675. If this could break $7, game on, potentially short squeeze that could happen for SDC. All right, guys. So thank you so much. If you guys don't already follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram, check it out. I am accessible. Shoot me an email, like Ryan got the PDF of Dr. Jekyll, no, not Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, excuse me, Creature from Jekyll Island. If you guys shoot me an email, I will send that to you. It is all about the banking system, and it's pretty enlightening. You might really want to keep some cash on hand. All right, guys, have an amazing day. I will see you all. Actually, I won't see you all tomorrow. Daughter has a doctor's appointment, but I will hopefully see you guys on Sunday, back to the regular schedule. All right, so have an amazing day. Love each and every one of you for being who you are, and share love and light and help people. Little random acts of kindness can always brighten people's day, even just a smile. All right, so have a great one. See you guys soon. Bye.